Good morning, children. How are you all? Do you study well? Hope that all of you have drawn the diagram of flower in the notebook. Okay. Shall we go to the next topic? Today, let us study about the next topic, that is the pollination and fertilization. Before going to the next topic, the pollination, we can just revise what you learned in the last class. That is the structure of the flower. Without knowing the structure of the flower, you cannot learn about the pollination and fertilization. So, I will just revise all the points one by one. Listen carefully. So, the flower is a reproductive part of the plant. It is in different colors, size and shape. The flower, born on the plant, it is supported by a stalk. The stalk of the flower is called the pedicel. The upper part of the pedicel is bulged and it is called the thalamus. The thalamus carry all other parts of the flower. There are 4 parts in a flower. These parts are arranged in 4 whorls. They are calyx, corolla, androecium and gynoecium. Calyx is green in color. It consists of sepals. Corolla is the brightly colored part of the flower. It consists of petals. Then androecium is the male part of the flower. It consists of stamens. Stamen contains filament and anther. The anther contains the powdery substance called the pollen grains. Pollen grains contain a male nucleus, that is a male cell. And the innermost part of the flower is the gynoecium. Gynoecium consists of carpel or pistil, and it consists of 3 parts. The uppermost part is called the stigma. The elongated part is called the style, and the basal ovary. Ovary contains small ovules. These ovules are the female part of the flower. Actually, the female ovules contain the female nucleus. So, the male and female part of the flower. Anther, stamen is the male part of the flower, and the pistil or carpel is the female part of the flower. All these structures you learned in the last class. Now, we can go to the next topic, the main function of the flower. The main function of the flower is to produce the fruits and seeds. For the formation of a fruit and seed, 2 steps must be taken place in a flower. It has to undergo 2 phases or 2 steps: pollination and fertilization. What is pollination? You know pollen grains. Pollen grains are the yellowish powdery material found in the anther of a flower. These pollen grains are produced in the anther. So, these pollen grains contain the male cell. It is to be transferred to the stigma of the flower. The transference of pollen grains from the anther of a flower to the stigma of other flower or the same flower is known as pollination. Pollination, so once more I will say, pollination is the process of transference of pollen grains from the anther to the stigma. There are 2 types of pollination, that is self-pollination and cross-pollination. Let us see one by one. Self-pollination. Here you can see a plant bearing 2 flowers. Here in this you can see the pollen grains are produced in the anther of this flower. If the pollen grains are transferred to the same flower, here the pollen grains are produced. It is transferred to the same flower or other flower in the same plant. Then this type of pollination is known as self-pollination. Once more, the pollen grains produced in a flower are transferred to the same flower or the other flower born on the same plant. That is called self-pollination. Then next one is the cross-pollination. That means if the pollen grains produced in the anther of a flower is transferred to the stigma of the other flower born on another plant, then it is called cross-pollination. So the pollen grains produced in the anther is transferred to the same plant here. Here is the same plant, and that is called the self-pollination. And the pollen grains are transferred to the other flower born on another plant. That is called cross-pollination. So from this plant to this plant, that is cross-pollination. So here the self-pollination and cross-pollination. Self-pollination is the pollen grains are transferred from stigma, from anther to stigma of the same within the plant. That takes place within the plant. But cross-pollination takes place between the two plants of the same type, not the point, of the same type. That means if it is hibiscus, same type of hibiscus only. So like that, self-pollination and cross-pollination. Transference of pollen grains from anther to the stigma of the same flower or other flower in the same plant. Here another plant. So that is the pollination. Then for cross-pollination to take place, or for the occurrence of cross-pollination, there should be some agents. Without the agent, pollen grains will not be transferred. In self-pollination, there is no need of agent. Pollen grains may fall on the same flower or the other flower in the same plant. That may take place. But cross-pollination will take place only with the help of agents. So the next point is the agents of pollination. Agents. The various agents of pollination. What are the various agents of pollination? The main agent is air, or we can say wind. Wind is an agent. Wind pollinated flower. Water is an agent. Water. Pollination takes place through the water. And the insects. Many flowers are pollinated by insects. So insect pollinating flowers, wind pollinating flowers, and water pollinating flowers. So the various agents of pollination. Let us see how this type of pollination takes place in plants. One by one. The first one is the air or wind pollination. Wind pollinating flowers. Example, rice, maize, etc. A large number of flowers born on the plant and they produce the pollen grains. The pollen grains are flown in the air, in the wind, carried by the wind, and they are carried by the wind and fall on the stigma of other flower. So like that, wind carries the pollen grains. Rice and maize. In rice and maize, the pollination takes place by wind, air or wind. The next one is water pollination. Water is an agent of pollination. Pollen grains are carried through the water, especially in aquatic plants, water plants. Like there is a water plant, a grass-like water plant called Vallisneria. In Vallisneria, the pollination takes place with the help of water. Vallisneria, water pollinating plant, Vallisneria. You are hearing this first time, I think. Vallisneria means it is a grass-like plant growing in water. It is an aquatic plant. In this plant, the pollen grains are very light in weight, so they float on the surface of the water. And the stigma of the flower also come on the surface of the water. Then when the water carries the pollen grains, they fall on the stigma of the flower, and like that pollination takes place. So water pollination. Water is an agent of pollination. Then don't think that all the the pollination in all the aquatic plants by water. Only some aquatic plants like Vallisneria, that lotus, water lily, they are aquatic plants. But in them, pollination is by insects. That is the next one. Insect pollinating flowers. Pollination by insects. You might have seen the insects like a bee or some other insects, butterflies, etc. visit the flower. They visit the flower to suck nectar. When they suck nectar, the pollen grains stick on their body. When they go to other flower of the same type, these pollen grains may fall on the stigma of that plant. So like that pollination takes place. So pollination by insects. Many of the flowers are pollinated by insects. Can you give some examples of insect pollinating flowers? Dahlia, salvia, all these are examples of insect pollinating flowers. Insect visit the flower, butterflies, honeybees, etc. visit the flower to suck nectar. When they go deep into the flower, the pollen grains stick on their body, and when they go to other flower, they may fall on the stigma of that flower. So like that pollination takes place. So these are the three agents of pollination: wind, water and insects. Sometimes we also are responsible for pollinating the flowers. For example, when we take a flower or when we go to the plant and when we smell the plant, the flower, when we touch it, that may shake and pollination may take place. And in some flowers, birds are the pollinating agents. Some birds, squirrel, you might have seen the squirrel coming to suck the nectar from the banana flower. What is banana flower? Do you know? Have you seen the banana flower? The inflorescence of the banana that we use as a vegetable. What you say in Malayalam, kumbu. That is the flower of the banana plant. In that you might have seen the bat and some bat or squirrel come to suck the nectar. When they suck the nectar, the pollen grains stick on their body. So like that pollination takes place by animals also. Animals like squirrel or maybe sometimes by birds, bat or some other birds. Some small birds, hummingbirds and all, coming to suck the nectar from the shoe flower and all, some type of flowers. So like that pollination takes place. So pollination is the transference of pollen grains from the anther of a flower to the stigma of the flower. That is of two types, self-pollination and cross-pollination. Pollination takes place within the same plant, then it is called self-pollination. Pollination in two different plants, that means two plants of the same type, then cross-pollination. The agents, air, water and insects. Then after pollination, what happened to the flower? So this pollination takes place, and after that what happens to the flower? Then fertilization will take place. That is the next topic. So here is the diagram of the process of fertilization. Fertilization is one of the most important steps in a flower for the formation of seeds and fruits. So here just now you learned that the pollen grains fall on the stigma of the flower. After falling the pollen grains on the stigma of the flower, it starts to germinate. When during the germination, from the stigma of the flower, they start to germinate, forming a pollen tube. Here you can see 3 pollen grains fall on the stigma of the flower. So here this is the stigma. Here you can see the pollen grains. So these pollen grains, after pollination, if they land on the correct space of the stigma of the correct flower, then they start to germinate and forming a pollen tube. One of the pollen tube grows downward towards the ovary of the flower through the style. Here is the style. You can see the style. Through the style, it grows downward and enter into the ovary of the flower. This pollen tube contains a male nucleus, and after then it enter into the ovule of the flower. That ovules in the ovary contains an egg nucleus. That is the female nucleus. So inside the ovule there is an egg nucleus. So the pollen tube grows downward with the male nucleus and enter into the ovule of the flower and fuses with the egg nucleus and form the seed. Okay, then this is the process of fertilization. So the fusion of male nucleus with the female nucleus is known as fertilization. So after fertilization, the zygote is formed. That is the product of fertilization. That zygote develops into the embryo. That embryo is found inside the seed. That is the baby plant inside the seed. So after fertilization, the ovary of the flower grows into a fruit and the ovule grows into a seed. Understand all of you? So this is the process of fertilization in a flower. So I will explain once more. Listen here. That is, the pollen grains fall on the stigma of the flower, and after that it germinates. It is by forming a pollen tube. That pollen tube contains the male nucleus. Two male nuclei are there. So it grows downward through the style towards the ovary of the flower. And then inside the ovary there is an ovule. Ovule contains the egg nucleus. So the male nucleus fuses with the egg nucleus. When they reach in the ovary, the male nucleus reaches here and fuse with the egg nucleus and form the zygote, the product of fertilization. That is the zygote. That zygote develops into embryo. And that embryo is the baby plant found inside the seed. So after fertilization, the ovary of the flower grows into a fruit and the ovule grows into a seed. That's all about the process of fertilization. So the fusion of male and female nucleus is known as fertilization, and the product of fertilization is known as zygote. The next topic is fruit, that we can study in the next class. Then all have to draw the diagram of this diagram in your notebook and read the textbook well. Many terms are very not familiar to you. You are hearing the terms first time. So keep in mind, try to say the terms many times, then only you can remember the terms. So okay, thank you.